Am I the a-hole for calling off my birthday weekend trip because I don't want my stepsister there? So I, 16M, almost 17, live with my mom, 45F, and her husband Carl, 48M. My biological dad passed away when I was 7. My mom and Carl got married about 4 years ago. When they got together, Carl came with a daughter, Megan, 15F, who now spends about half the time living with us and the other half at her mom's place. I'll be completely honest, I do not like Megan. And before anyone jumps to conclusions, it's not because I didn't want my mom to remarry or because I'm anti-stepfamily. I really wanted things to work at first. I gave it a shot. But Megan made that impossible. At first, when I only saw her for short periods, she seemed okay. A little intense maybe, but manageable. But the more time we spent around each other, the more unbearable it got. And now, for years later, I genuinely feel like I can't stand to be around her. Let me give you a few examples. Whenever I was playing video games, stuff I'd looked forward to all day after school, she'd try to hijack the controller, complain that the game was boring or too boyish, and demand to play something else. And I'm not talking about asking politely. She'd physically switch the games, or in one case, she'd just unplug the console and the TV while I was in the middle of a game on my dad's old PS2, which now means a lot to me. It wasn't just annoying, it felt disrespectful. Then there were the errand trips. My mom would give me money and ask me to take Megan to the store to get snacks for the house. Every time, Megan would try to snatch the money out of my hand or rip the stuff I picked out of the cashier's hands if she didn't like it. She'd load up on things she wanted and act like I was the selfish one for picking out a single bag of chips for myself. Then, on the walk home, she'd interrogate me about why I didn't like her, as if I was the problem. When we finally all moved into the same house, it got worse. Megan had no boundaries. She'd come into my room constantly, without knocking, and if I tried to close the door, she'd push it back open. One time I actually had to physically drag her out of my room because she wouldn't leave and was trying to take one of my games with her. That's when I begged my mom for help, and she agreed to let me put locks on my closet and bedroom door. You'd think that would solve the problem, but no. Megan invited her friends over, and they tried to break into my room and closet just to get at my stuff. Like, who does that? She used to take food off my plate when we ate dinner, and when I started refusing to sit at the table, Carl finally told her to stop. That helped for a minute. But then she'd get offended if I didn't want to sit next to her or talk to her like we were besties. The worst part? When our parents went on their honeymoon, I stayed with my paternal grandparents and had a great time. But when Megan found out, she lost it. She was obsessed with the idea that I'd had a better time than she did and would text and call me constantly while she was at her mom's. I eventually blocked her because it was exhausting. She got me in trouble for that too. She still enters my room without permission, still takes my stuff and either breaks it or doesn't give it back, and she acts super weird around my friends, like full-on flirty to the point that she tried to kiss a couple of them. She once tried to set me up with her best friend, and when I said no, she called me a gay slur. And when she later found out I actually am gay and hadn't told her, she had a complete meltdown. She said I was supposed to tell her because she's my sister. I didn't say much. I just told my mom later that Megan is not my sister and that I'm tired of pretending like she is. More recently, Megan ruined my favorite hoodie by giving it to her friend without asking. My mom was furious and demanded Carl make her work to pay for it. Megan whined and begged me to forgive her so she wouldn't have to do the work. She kept asking over and over, trying to guilt me like it was no big deal. Another thing she does. Whenever Mom and Carl leave us money to order food, Megan takes it and orders only for herself, then tells me to suck it up. This has happened multiple times. My mom knows all of this. So does Carl. I've had many conversations with my mom about how I feel and how draining it is to share a house with someone who crosses every line. She always listens, but when it comes down to it, nothing changes. Now here's where the real conflict starts. For my 17th birthday, my mom planned a weekend trip at a cabin with my friends. We'd go hiking, play games, eat junk food, just chill, and have a fun birthday with some parental supervision, her and Carl. I was looking forward to it. But then she told me we were delaying the trip until the weekend after my birthday because Megan would be at her mom's house on my actual birthday weekend. That was already disappointing. But then came the real kicker. Mom said Megan would be coming. I told her I didn't want that. I explained, again, that Megan makes me uncomfortable and ruins everything. She said, Megan is your sister, and it's wrong to exclude her. I told her, again, Megan is not my sister. We're not close. We don't even like each other. I don't want her there when I'm trying to relax and have fun with my friends. Mom refused to budge. So I made the call. I told her to cancel the whole thing. I messaged my friends and explained that plans had changed and the cabin trip was off. We'll do something else, just us. That night, my mom got angry. She told me I was throwing a tantrum and being selfish, and that it was cruel to cancel the trip because Megan was going to be there. She said Megan would be hurt knowing the trip was canceled because of her. And you know what? I told her. I don't care. I told her the truth. Having Megan there would ruin the entire weekend, and it's my birthday. I deserve a day that's not filled with anxiety and frustration. So, am I the a-hole for standing my ground and calling off my birthday weekend rather than be forced to include someone who's made my life hell for years? Because I'm tired of being told to be the bigger person. I'm tired of being the one who has to bend, tolerate, and keep quiet. And I'm really, really tired of pretending Megan is my family when she treats me like garbage.